Welcome, coin collectors. In today's video, we're taking a closer look at the Sacagawea Dollar, a fascinating piece of modern U.S. coinage that could be worth more than face value in exceptional condition. We'll explore its history, unique design, rarity, valuable errors and varieties, and the realistic prices that high-grade examples can bring. Could you have a valuable Sacagawea Dollar hiding your collection? Let's find out. The 2000 Sacagawea Dollar is one of the most historically important modern United States dollar coins because it introduced a completely new circulating dollar design at the beginning of the 21st century. Struck at the Denver Mint, the 2000 issue had a reported mintage of 518,916,000 pieces, meaning the ordinary coin is not rare in circulated condition. However, that large production figure can be misleading when discussing value. The truly desirable examples are coins that survived in exceptional mint state grades, particularly MS-67, MS-68, and MS-69, as well as unusual proof-like pieces and legitimate mint errors. Current PCGS pricing data shows a dramatic difference between ordinary examples and the finest certified coins, with the regular 2000 listed around $5 to $8 in MS-63, MS-65, $15 to $32 around MS-66, MS-68, about $80 to $400 at MS-68, MS-69, depending on the pricing tier, and as much as $10,000 listed for the finest grade category. Therefore, while claims that every 2000 Sacagawea Dollar is worth thousands or millions are unrealistic, an exceptionally preserved, authenticated top-grade specimen can indeed become a serious modern numismatic prize. The historical importance of the 2000 dollar comes from its role as part of the original Sacagawea Dollar series, launched in 2000 to replace the Susan B. Anthony dollar in regular U.S. dollar coinage. The coin commemorates Sacagawea, the Shoshone woman associated with the Lewis and Clark expedition, and her contribution as a guide, interpreter, and intermediary during the expedition. The obverse portrait was created by sculptor Glenna Goodacker, while the reverse design was created by Thomas D. Rogers Sr. The 2000 is particularly significant because it belongs to the inaugural year of the series and carries the D Mint mark identifying Denver. It was produced during a period when the United States Mint was attempting to make the dollar coin more recognizable and distinctive while reducing confusion with the quarter. The massive first-year production reflects the Mint's expectation that the new dollar would circulate widely, but the subsequent history of the denomination showed that public acceptance was limited, making these early issues especially interesting to collectors studying modern American coinage. Visually, the 2000 Sacagawea Dollar is instantly recognizable by its golden appearance, although it is not made of gold. The United States Mint describes its construction as a three-layer clad coin consisting of a copper core surrounded by manganese brass outer layers. Overall composition is approximately 88.5% copper, 6% zinc, 3.5% manganese, and 2% nickel. The coin weighs approximately 8.1 grams, measures 26.5 millimeters in diameter, and is approximately 2 millimeters thick. The obverse depicts Sacagawea carrying her infant son, Jean-Baptiste Charbonneau, with Liberty, Indiana God We Trust, and the date incorporated into the design. The reverse originally showed an eagle in flight surrounded by 13 stars, with United States of America, E pluribus unum, and $1 completing the design. The plain edge and distinctive golden color were important technological and artistic characteristics intended to differentiate the new dollar from older U.S. coins. The biggest misconception surrounding this coin is that the 2000 date itself makes the dollar ultra-rare. It does not. With more than 500 million examples struck, ordinary circulated 2000 Sacagawea dollars are common, and CoinWeek likewise describes the issue as common because of its enormous mintage. What becomes scarce is exceptional preservation. Modern dollar coins were frequently exposed to handling, transportation, bags, counting machines, and storage conditions that could produce scratches, contact marks, discoloration, and surface disturbances. Consequently, Finding a 2000D with exceptionally clean surfaces, strong strike, attractive luster, and minimal marks becomes increasingly difficult as the grade rises. This is why collectors should distinguish between mintage rarity and condition rarity. A coin can have a huge mintage yet become scarce in MS68 or MS69. PCGS data illustrates exactly this phenomenon. The regular 2000D has substantially higher values in the very highest certified grades than in ordinary mint state grades. Condition is therefore the single most important factor when evaluating an ordinary 2000D Sacagawea dollar. A circulated example generally remains close to face value, while an attractive uncirculated coin may bring a modest premium. Another current market reference gives approximately $3.97 for an uncertified example, $35 around MS65, $39 around MS66, $43 around MS67, $110 around MS68, and $132 around MS69, illustrating how dramatically different pricing can be between sources and transactions. These numbers should be treated as market indicators rather than guaranteed selling prices. Actual auction results depend heavily on certification company, IAPL, population rarity, timing, buyer competition. The 2001 Sacagawea Dollar is an important second-year issue in one of the most recognizable modern United States dollar series. Struck at the Philadelphia Mint, the coin continued the new golden dollar design introduced in 2000 and remains popular because it combines modern U.S. history, distinctive artistry, and the continuing story of Sacagawea and the Lewis and Clark expedition. The key point for collectors, however, is that the ordinary 2001 P is not inherently an ultra-rare coin. Its reported mintage was about 62.4 million pieces, considerably lower than the enormous 2000 production, but still large enough that circulated examples are generally obtainable. Its real numismatic interest comes from condition rarity, exceptionally high mint state grades, recognized varieties, and genuine mint errors. For collectors today, the difference between an ordinary circulated 2001 P and an elite certified example can be substantial, making this an interesting coin to examine carefully rather than automatically assuming that every 2001 P is worth a fortune. The historical significance of the 2001 P begins with the launch of the Sacagawea Dollar program in 2000. The United States Mint introduced the new dollar as a replacement for the Susan B. Anthony dollar design and gave it a distinctive golden appearance intended to make the denomination easier to recognize. The coin honors Sacagawea, the Shoshone woman who accompanied the Lewis and Clark expedition and is historically associated with helping the expedition communicate and navigate through unfamiliar territory. The obverse portrait was designed by Glenna Goodacker, while the original reverse, depicting an eagle in flight, was designed by Thomas D. Rogers Sr. The Philadelphia Mint produced the 2001 P circulation issue, and the P mint mark identifies its origin. Although 2001 was not a bicentennial year, the coin belongs to the broader modern American commemorative and circulating dollar story and has considerable historical importance because it represents one of the earliest years of the Sacagawea series. The physical design of the 2001 P is one of the reasons collectors continue to appreciate it. The obverse features Sacagawea carrying her infant son, Jean-Baptiste Charbonneau, with the inscriptions Liberty, Indiana, God We Trust, and the date. The reverse originally shows a soaring American eagle surrounded by 13 stars, representing the original 13 colonies, along with United States of America, E pluribus unum, and $1. The coin has a diameter of approximately 26.5 millimeters, weighs approximately 8.1 grams, and uses a copper core with manganese brass outer layers that produce its characteristic golden color. It is important to emphasize that the coin is not gold, despite its appearance. In exceptional condition, the surfaces can display attractive luster and strong contrast between the design elements and fields. A sharply struck example with minimal marks can be particularly appealing because modern circulation dollars frequently develop contact marks during manufacturing, transportation, and handling. The rarity of the 2001 P must be understood primarily through condition rarity rather than overall mintage rarity. With roughly 62.4 million coins produced, ordinary examples are not scarce in the same way as famous low-mintage U.S. rarities. A worn coin found in circulation will generally be worth little more than face value, and even many ordinary uncirculated examples command only modest premiums. The situation changes when a coin reaches very high mint state grades. Modern coins are often difficult to preserve perfectly because they can strike one another in mint bags, rolls, and counting equipment, leaving tiny contact marks or surface imperfections. Therefore, a coin that survives with exceptionally clean fields, strong luster, sharp details, and excellent eye appeal can become considerably more desirable to registry set collectors. The finest certified examples can be much scarcer than the overall mintage suggests, and that scarcity at the highest grades is what creates much of the premium market for the 2001 P. For valuation purposes, collectors should separate ordinary examples from exceptional ones. A typical circulated 2001 P Sacagawea Dollar generally remains close to face value, while attractive uncirculated examples may bring a small premium depending on grade and buyer demand. Certified mint state coins in the MS65, MS66 range can generally trade for modest amounts, while higher-grade MS67 and MS68 examples can become significantly more valuable. The precise price varies according to grading service, population reports, eye appeal, and recent auction activity. At the extreme upper end, a genuinely scarce top population example can command hundreds or potentially more when competing collectors want it for a registry set. These values should not be confused with internet claims that an ordinary 2001 P is automatically worth thousands or millions. The coin's value comes from its specific condition and characteristics, not simply from the date and mint mark. Another important consideration is the existence of mint errors and special varieties. A normal 2001 P has a Philadelphia P mint mark, so a coin missing the expected mint mark should not automatically be considered rare. Collectors should determine whether the appearance is caused by damage, wear, alteration, or an authentic production error. Genuine errors such as major striking problems, dramatic off-center strikes, clipped planchets, broad strikes, or other documented minting abnormalities can attract strong premiums because they are individually scarce. However, minor scratches, dents, discoloration, machine damage, or unusual toning are not necessarily mint errors. The same caution applies to highly reflective surfaces. A shiny 2001 P should not automatically be called a proof. Proof Sacagawea dollars were produced separately, principally at San Francisco, and collectors should rely on recognized attribution and certification rather than appearance alone.